It's been a little while. Haven't made many videos the last few months. Really sorry about that. Just been really busy. Of course, life is busy, and there's been no good weather to do filming. So I've had this car I want to show you today. I've had it sitting around for weeks, finished, and it's like every time it's the weekend I have a chance to film. It is rainy. It is terrible weather, but today, I don't know if you can see out the window here, but it is sunny. So we're gonna get this outside because this car really needs to get out in the sun for us to appreciate just how awesome it looks. So what we're looking at today is Tamiya's BT-01 Porsche. So I painted it pearlescent white, and that's why we need the sunlight to actually see the pearlescent color. But I'm actually pretty impressed with this kit. I know there's been a little bit of flack with the BT-01 and the MB-01, which shares chassis components. But I think it's a really interesting design. It's very much classic Tamiya when it comes to, we're going to make a plastic chassis car and we're going to do it in an interesting way that no one else has done. So this is definitely no different, and it's awesome to finally have a Porsche in my collection, or Porsche, whatever you want to call it. I've always wanted to have one of the Porsche cars, and they always put out these anniversary editions with very, very expensive price tags, so like $1,000 and stuff. So this one's nice. It was about, I think in US dollars, about $150 to get the kit. But of course, as you know me, I haven't just built a base kit. We've done lots of upgrades, so we're going to take a look at the car, take a look at why I think this is a unique and interesting kit to build, and we're going to look at the upgrades I put on it. So let's take a look at that. First, what I want to take a look at is the manual. So this is the one that comes with the 911. It's nice. It's not just generic. It has the body on it. The other one they've released is the Supra, and it's a bit cheaper, like $40 or $20 or something cheaper. So the manual is quite well laid out, as all Tamiya manuals are. Start with the transmission, go through, start building the chassis, etc. So this is one set up specifically for this Carrera body and the length of the chassis, etc. So there's some different ways to build this car. So this one is a rear-wheel drive, mid-engine, mid-motor car, which is how the actual Porsche is. It's rear-wheel drive. I guess they're four-wheel drive now, but originally rear-wheel drive with a mid-engine or rear engine. So in the kit, they send two more instruction manuals. So there's actually a total of 3 instruction manuals. In these manuals, they give you instructions how to build for different lengths. So these kits can fit different length bodies, which is really cool. And also where to mount the motor. So midship rear or front motor, front wheel drive. Okay, so you can mount it that way. Or you can build front motor, rear wheel drive. So it's kind of interesting you have these 3 positions. Now in building the kits, if you wanted to build a front wheel drive Porsche, I don't know what you would, they actually give you the manuals so you can build that style of car or a different length. So that's really cool. It's very versatile. And in building the kit, I figure you could actually build a 4-wheel drive model, and I will explain how that would work. It just requires moving the battery. So in this image here, we can see probably the most innovative feature of this car is how the two chassis pieces slide together. I think that's very cool, and that's where you get your different lengths. Now, let's take a look at the car. So here we have the car. I'm just going to pull the body off. As always, I'm quite happy with my paint jobs. Unlike most car builders, the paint is actually one of the most interesting things for me. I really like painting shells, and I used to kind of suck at it. So I've gotten into it, so we can take a look. It's pearlescent, and it's backed in bright silver. I back a lot of my cars in bright silver. And I put in these two little pads up here to stop the mounts from wearing, because it just has the body clips on the underside of the mount, stop it from wearing the paint. And I didn't put light buckets in. A lot of my cars, I don't bother lights, I just use the stickers. But it is beautiful. They did a great job. It took a couple hours to put the stickers on this car, actually. It doesn't look like much, but it's actually quite a long process. And I'm very happy with how it looks. I was going to do a different color paint job, and then I thought, no, I'll just stick with white. I rarely do box art, but this time we did box art, albeit pearlescent. So we'll have a look inside the car. This is the car as I have built it. We have our mid-engine, and we have our rear-wheel drive, and there's our little drive shaft. Now, what we have for electronics, I have this T-Rex brushless ESC, and it comes with all these capacitors on it. I forget how many amps, 120 amps. So these are cheap, and they work with the Hobbywing program box. I think they're actually Hobbywings rebranded, but they add a bunch of capacitors on them. Quite nice. A quite nice ESC. And I have paired that to a 10.5 turn motor from Hobbywing, the Quick Run. So that is here. And it's all fit together quite nicely. You see some blue on it. I've upgraded to the TRF racing shocks. And what else have I upgraded? So in the rear we have I think titanium drive cups, racing drive cups, and then we have a CVD joints, and I bought the wrong size. So when you look for them online, be aware that there's a different size if you're making front wheel drive or to rear wheel drive. So first I bought the wrong length. So I got the right length in there, and I can't believe it's 37. So if you're going to get CVDs, you want 37 on the back. Up front, you can see some racing blue here. This is for the steering rack. It's still mounted to this plastic piece, which is kind of bendy. I wish I could get an aluminum piece here, but they don't sell them yet. But I put that on just to stiffen up the steering a little bit. And we have the original kit plastic steering arms, etc. on the front. So the upgrades are basically the shocks, the rear CVDs, and the steering linkage. Inside, I have put a steel gear differential with oil. It comes with a plastic one that takes grease, and I built it, and I took it out, and I put in the steel gear diff. So we got a better diff because I'm running that brushless power. I said you could actually run this car four-wheel drive, and how would that be possible? Well, the front, you can put a diff in the front. The case is there. This is empty. Okay, it's just empty right now. There's nothing in it. There's actually a hole in there I can stick my finger in. Underneath, you see a space for a drive shaft to have a motor running a long drive shaft up to this. Or it could be the rear of the car. If you're building front wheel drive, this can be the front. In our transmission case, there is a way to have a hole on both sides and to add another drive shaft. The only thing stopping this from being a four-wheel drive kit is the battery slides across. Depending on when you build it, it can slide here or here, but the battery slides through the middle. However, if you were to mount your battery on top somehow, you could run a long drive shaft and you could actually make four-wheel drive. And I might do that to this kit later. I may turn it into a four-wheel drive Porsche. So what I like about this kit, I like that chassis is kind of like building Legos. It's quite stiff. The way it slides together and you screw it all in, you can do different lengths. I quite like that. I haven't driven it yet. I'm kind of excited to have a rear-wheel drive only car that's not a drift car. If we look at the throw on the front wheels, it's very obviously set up steering for touring car, not for a drift car, because they would cut quite close. But it is rear-wheel drive. It should drive interestingly with that no four-wheel drive system. So I don't have anything like it. I'm kind of excited to see how it works. So that's all for the car. Before I drive it, I'm very pleased with it, and I think it has the potential for four-wheel drive, which I think is kind of cool. I think it's time we throw a battery in and take this for a drive. Oh, I forgot to mention I put a Savox 1258 servo in here. It's quite a nice servo. This long arm, I'm not really super happy with this long leakage on any steering, so hopefully it steers well. It seems quite tight. There is a little bit of play in there. That could be shimmed up. That could be fixed up. That's one complaint about these kits, that there's a little bit of play. I didn't shim anything. Oh, I just saw another upgrade I did. I put the steel balls in the suspension. So in these suspension arms, there's plastic balls that come in them. I put steel ones in, and that makes it a little bit stiffer. And also I ball raced it, of course. I put ball bearings in, so there's ball bearings throughout. I forgot to mention that. All right, I think that's all. Let's throw the battery in, throw the body on, and let's go see how this thing drives. Hopefully it drives well. So we're on this kind of mixed surface. It's bumpy and ultra smooth and lots of issues, so we'll see how this drives. We get power. Oops. Turn on the radio. Even though it may not be a drift car. Slide it out. broken something. Let's see what happened there. No steering. Huh? The screw fell out. The screw fell out holding that together. Well, we lost the screw. Yeah, racing. Steering. Screw fell out. Well, now. Alright, so I lost that screw to this side of that double arm. It's kind of interesting, there's a double arm, so depending on how you build it, you may have your servo on the other side. And right now I'm thinking about just popping that off and putting it over, but my receiver's there, my ESC, it won't actually work. Yeah, so the screw fell out of my racing upgrade on the steering. But I think that's enough to get a sense of it. I mean, I don't think I'll take out the ramps and launch it through the air. It did do a little jump. So we haven't driven it very long, maybe 20 minutes, and nothing's broke. I just lost the screw. Am I happy with it? Yeah, it's a rear-wheel drive car, so it's kind of rare we get them. We get a lot of front-wheel drives. We don't get a lot of rear-wheel drives in the M chassis from Tamiya. So full-size rear-wheel drive, true to Porsche design. It's a pity my upgrade is actually at fault. Nothing to do with Tamiya. I do recommend that aluminum steering stuff, and if you can get an aluminum cap here, that would even be better to get rid of the flex, especially when you're using like a strong Savax servo. Everything's covered in dust, but there's actually nothing wrong with it. This is actually a fun car. I think if I had a little bit better throttle control, it would actually be capable of drifting. It does like to slide around. It'd be cool to have this thing on a track, just to see how it would do on a track as a rear-wheel drive. I think it would be pretty good, actually. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. So before I put the body on, let me just unhook the power. I want to point out, if you're installing a quick run, Hobbywing quick run motor, the pins where you connect the power cables to, they're actually on the other side on the motor. They're on this side. I had to desolder, pull them out, and put them in this side, the bullets, so I could put the motor wires on. So that was kind of a pain. So if you buy one of these motors, be aware you can't actually mount it mid-engine and put put your cables in. You have to take the points off, the bullet point. So this auf Deutsch sprechen Porsche, or in English, Porsche, is a really cool body. I'm very, very pleased with it. If you get one, get the Porsche body. I got a little scrape on the sticker there. But nothing bad. Nothing's broke. I didn't really crash it. I didn't run it too hard. But beautiful car. Very pleased with it. And definitely a Tamiya creation. The way that chassis goes together and all the adjustability. Would this be good for racing? Probably not. Let's face it. If you're going to race cars, probably buying a Tamiya is your first mistake. But I think it'd be fun on the track to have this on the track and have a rear-wheel drive car to run, because they're always four-wheel drive. So that's all. I hope you liked the video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'll try to get more videos out in the future. I have a very special project in the works, a very special creation, and hopefully that'll come up next. Actually, I have two kind of special creations. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit that like button. Ring the bell. All that kind of stuff. And we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.
Pronounced Porsche.
Porsche.